Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Alright guys, we're getting a tad bit close to the ending of part 1 of Boruto, and someone asked me a very good question. Someone asked me if there would possibly be a final battle in part 1 of Boruto. Now if you guys will recall, in part 1 of Naruto, there was a final battle between Naruto and Sasuke, and that battle right there was essentially like the culmination or the climax of part 1. Now obviously, there's definitely a possibility of the Boruto series in part 1 having a final battle. I want to talk about that. Now the obvious pairing is going to be Kawaki versus Boruto. Now me personally, I do not think that this right here is going to happen. I think for one, their bond is way too tight. Naruto and Sasuke, there was always tension between them two. Kawaki and Boruto, it's more like a brotherhood, so their relationship essentially is completely different. I personally believe that seeing Kawaki versus Boruto at the end would probably be very interesting. I think a lot of people right now are severely underrating Kawaki because he did lose his karma seal, but that's a topic for another video. But I just don't think it would actually be feasible. But I could kind of see it in a way where, you know, the fight would actually be for Naruto. For example, in the last chapter we found out that Kawaki wants to leave the Hidden Leaf Village. Even beyond that, Kawaki is actually making moves, like literally heading outside of the Hidden Leaf Village, and no one knows where Kawaki is going. Now we know from chapter 60, Kawaki wants to leave to potentially gain some power to actually protect Naruto in the Hidden Leaf Village. But here is the thing. If Kawaki wants to leave for the sake of protecting Naruto and Boruto wants to keep Kawaki there, then they could potentially have a fight right then and there. Boruto would essentially be trying to keep Kawaki inside the Hidden Leaf Village, similar to what Naruto was trying to do with Sasuke when Sasuke tried to leave for Orochimaru. Now here's the problem with this scenario. It wouldn't feel like how Naruto versus Sasuke felt. Sasuke was leaving for Orochimaru. Sasuke was literally leaving the Hidden Leaf Village for a known enemy of the Hidden Leaf Village. We understood that Sasuke was essentially going rogue from then on. Now obviously, in terms of the actual series, they didn't necessarily call him rogue until very deep into Naruto Shippuden, but in this particular situation with Kawaki isn't doing that. Kawaki wants to leave and come right back, so of course them fighting wouldn't necessarily have those stakes behind it. Kawaki is going to come back inevitably, but nonetheless, I still do believe that this fight would definitely be entertaining, just to see exactly how far Kawaki and Boruto would go against each other. Like hypothetically, would they attack each other with the intent to kill? Would they attack each other just to see exactly how far they've came? Because if you guys do recall, early on in the series, Kawaki and Boruto had multiple fights. This fight right here obviously would be on a completely different level. There is also very good possibilities that there are also other people in the quote-unquote final battle of Boruto. I think at this particular time we understand that there's going to be a lot of tension surrounding Sasuke and Code. Code just now entered the Hidden Leaf Village, and Sasuke is essentially on Code's tracks. He wants to pretty much find out exactly where Code is coming from, if he's going to come and basically protect the Hidden Leaf Village. Now Sasuke gets wind that Code is actually in the Hidden Leaf Village, did use one of those slips and actually did enter the Hidden Leaf Village, and now is after Kawaki. There's a high possibility that Sasuke is going to actually end up confronting Code. Now a lot of people believe that this right here is going to happen. I personally believe that if this happens right here, it would definitely be an impeccable time to end the series, because I personally believe that that fight right there would be absolutely monumental. I know a lot of people want to automatically cast and automatically crown Code as being stronger than Sasuke. I'm personally not completely there. One of the things that we do understand about Naruto is that it's not Dragon Ball Z. It's not necessarily about who's stronger. It's not necessarily about who's faster. A lot of the times it comes down to actual tactical fighting abilities. And what we do understand is that Sasuke is an absolute genius. Code not so much. We even heard about it in the last episode when Amado said that Code wasn't necessarily the brightest kid. Even though he's still a shrewd operator, he's not necessarily the smartest. I think that Sasuke could definitely find the upper hand, which would possibly make this fight very, very much entertaining. It'll probably be one of the only fights that we have actually seen where adult Sasuke is genuinely outmatched in a 1v1 strength wise, but in terms of intelligence, Sasuke is going to absolutely dwarf Code. Now not only that, there's also a possibility of Boruto versus Sarada. I did kind of explain this in one of my collabs that's probably coming up very soon, but this one right here, in my personal opinion, is going to be something very unlikely. I think if this right here would actually happen, the reasoning behind this would possibly be Boruto actually wanting to go rogue. If Boruto goes rogue, it would pretty much be because he understands that he's going to turn to Momoshiki eventually. We understand that they got Boruto on the Percocets and Molly's as of right now, but we understand that that right there is just a temporary fix. If Boruto eventually shows more signs of potentially turning into Momoshiki, for example, he grows a horn out of nowhere or something like that, or someone else comes down and actually speculates that Boruto is now at 90% or something like that, regardless of the pills, Boruto would then feel the need to possibly leave the Hidden Leaf Fields to actually protect the Hidden Leaf Fields, because having Momoshiki resurrect right in the middle of the Hidden Leaf Fields probably wouldn't necessarily be the safest safest thing, and of course Naruto and everyone else would most likely disagree. So Boruto would actually try to leave, and Sarada would probably be the last stand to actually try to save Boruto. I think Sarada would actually put up a very good fight against Boruto, even while Boruto has the karma. So obviously we understand that Boruto is stronger than Sarada. That right there isn't a discussion, but having that final battle, the emotions behind it, the feelings behind it, and of course Boruto actually leaving the Hidden Leaf Village, what that entails, that right there would definitely be a very decent fight. Again, I just don't necessarily think that this right here would be overly likely. Now the last one that I did kind of think about would possibly be Naruto and Sasuke versus Code. This right here would be interesting on a couple of levels. I think as of right now, we understand that Naruto and Sasuke versus Code would probably be a body bag. Now, I don't necessarily want to completely underrate Code, but we understand that Code versus Sasuke, as I said earlier, would be a good fight. Now, adding Naruto to that mix, it wouldn't be a good fight. I think that Naruto and Sasuke would definitely be able to beat Code. And Code even said it. He said that he didn't necessarily think that he'd be able to take on Naruto and Sasuke at the same time. Now, Code without the limiter, hypothetically, if Code finds a way, to get the limiter off and then actually fights against Naruto and Sasuke, that right there would be a battle, 100%. And one of the biggest parts about this is that this right here is actually a possibility. Code, as I said, entered very close to the Hidden Leaf Village, and Amato as of right now is in the Hidden Leaf Village. Because of Ida's clairvoyant abilities, she knows exactly where Amato is, and it wouldn't necessarily be out of the realm possibility if off screen she told Code exactly where Amato is. So of course, this right here is definitely a possibility as well. I personally believe that this right here may actually be one of the best scenarios. Now, obviously on paper, Naruto and Sasuke would probably lose against Code because in theory, he should be stronger than Jigen, and Jigen beat Naruto and Sasuke when Naruto and Sasuke were not quote-unquote nerfed. I don't necessarily want to get into exactly what happened with them, but obviously they're not necessarily as strong as they once were. And obviously Code being buffed, stronger than Jigen, probably be a body bag. So obviously Naruto and Sasuke would probably have to have somebody be added to that. Maybe be Boruto. Maybe Boruto turns to Momoshiki again. You never know. Maybe Kawaki's added to that as well, similar to how he was added in the Ishiki Otsutsuki fight. But this right here would be a little bit more prominent. Kawaki and Code, they have a backstory. We understand that Code has been jealous of Kawaki for a very long time. But regardless, I think that this fight right here would probably be one of the best ones. As I said, probably one of the most entertaining ones. Naruto and Sasuke fighting again, letting us see exactly how strong they could possibly be against a foe that's very, very much extremely strong, confirmed stronger than Jigen. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Give me your opinions. Do you guys think that there will be a final battle? And if there is a final battle, what do you guys think the final battle is going to be? And what do you want to see? But it's me, your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.